In 1947, when India and Pakistan were partitioned, Sir Cyril Radcliffe, popularly the chairman of the Boundary Commission between India and Pakistan, famously said to the English writer Kuldeep Nair, who was also a journalist, "I nearly gave you Lahore." In fact, the realization which Sir Radcliffe sir had was that if Lahore was given to India, Pakistan would be left a country without a city. That's how Lahore went to Pakistan. Now, Radcliffe was a London-based barrister who, the funny part is, he was actually selected as the chairman of the Boundary Commission, which was to decide the borders between India and Pakistan, creating the borderlines of Punjab and Bangladesh and East Pakistan in those days, in Bangladesh today in India. The funny part is this particular barrister never traveled anywhere east of Paris. So India for him was an entirely new region. Under the guidance of Lord Louis Mountbatten, who was the Governor General overseeing the transfer of power, Radcliffe and his commission was given the chairmanship to deal with the partition, and it was expected that Radcliffe will do his job without any bias. 5 weeks, in fact it was just 5 weeks which was given to Sir Cyril Radcliffe to complete his boundary planning. In just 5 weeks. Now, Radcliffe arrived in India on the 8th of July 1947. He was chairman of the two boundary commissions. One was the Commission of Border Establishment in Punjab, and the other was the Commission for Border Establishment in Bengal. In fact, he was possibly the least supported in the entire partition process. He couldn't have been more ill-equipped for the job. He was a barrister who had no idea about India, and he was also told that it is impossible to do a field survey since June was extremely heat. So he was just given census data of a decade, census reports, and literally he stayed in the room deciding the fate of millions of Indians on either side of the border. The two boundary commissions were appointed. Both were known as Radcliffe Commissions. And in each of these, there were members, two from Indian National Congress and two from Muslim League. In fact, many of these boundary commissions, in many of these boundary commission discussions, things went pretty weird and pretty vague. In fact, in one of that, Radcliffe was actually not at all pleased with them, because in one of the Muslim League members of the Radcliffe Commission in Bengal actually wanted Darjeeling to be in Pakistan, and his reason was that his family did vacations in Darjeeling. So he didn't want to go to India after Pakistan is formed. Now that was how low thinking these people were. They were deciding the fate of Indians. Within 5 weeks, a massive cut was done between India and Pakistan, and the boundary planning, the entire partition was so hastily planned that yes, there were parts where many Hindus fell into Muslim dominated regions, and it did happen. And particularly the areas of Zira and Firozpur Tehsils, both of these were Muslim majority areas. They were supposed to be in Pakistan, but in order to give land access to India, both Zira and Firozpur were then altered to be transferred to India. Now the funny part is, there are accusations that Lord Louis Mountbatten himself did this as a favor to India. Albeit all of this is never really possible to get confirmed. Now Radcliffe was so depressed with his entire plan that, and particularly the violence which erupted based on the Radcliffe line and the borders, he apparently, it is said that he burnt all his documents and maps, and he never took a single penny for the job he did. He was to be paid a 40,000 rupee. Although Sir Cyril Radcliffe always remained depressed about the job he did, now the truth is that any line that divided India and Pakistan would have come with blood, violence, bloodshed. And that was the story of partition. Sir Cyril Radcliffe just happened to be the butcher on the show. Otherwise, India and Pakistan's partition was an inevitable happening. Thank you. Subscribe, follow me on YouTube, Keep watching for more videos, more content of Indian history, more amazing information of Indian history. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.